is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn. During the next 2 hours, we're going to cover a variety of health topics. We're going to take a look at the fact that doctors and technicians who have tattoos have to cover them up. We'll also take a look at the spiritual aspect of healing during this first hour. In hour two, Dr. Daryl and Dr. Mark are just going to chit-chat back and forth. We'll also be spending some time with Dr. Greg Salea talking about fighting the underlying causes for allergy relief. And right now, we're going to spend some time with Rick Olderman. He is a physical therapist based in the Denver area. He's also a personal trainer, certified personal trainer. You should see this guy's abs. You can go on our website and see those. And he has a book out. It's called Fixing You Back Pain. And what we've been doing is we've been offering the book and some sessions with Rick over Skype or over the phone over the last few weeks. And we've been getting some people, but as soon as we mentioned one word, Rick, that's when some of these people are starting to back off. Do you know what that one word is?
No, I have no idea.
Exercise.
Oh.
Because they asked me, one of the guys said to me, how does this work? And I said, well, Rick is going to look at you, through Skype. He goes, oh, that's great. And he's going to, he can't do a diagnosis, but you'll tell him about what your doctors have said and where your pain is. And then he's going to suggest and recommend some exercises to you. They said, what? Exercise? Now, I tease about exercise all the time. I actually went for a 30-minute plus walk this morning. And 2 weeks ago, I actually went for a 4-mile hike. I got to do more, I know, but it's a start. Are people resistant to exercise, even if it will help back pain?
Well, here's the deal with exercise, is that my book doesn't talk about going out and doing cardio or doing 100 sit-ups or that type of exercise. The type of exercises in my book are corrective exercises. So if there is a muscle group that is changing the orientation of your pelvis, which is creating back pain, then the exercise would be to stretch that muscle group. It's not to go out and do 3 miles on the elliptical machine. So please don't be scared off by the idea of exercise. It doesn't mean that we're going to get you going with cardio. It just means that we're going to correct the things that need correcting, either lengthening or strengthening, what have you.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to give some information out. If you want a copy of Fixing You, Back Pain by Rick Olderman, you can call 805-480-1596. The number is 805-480-1596, or you can email me at info@latenighthealth.com, info@latenighthealth.com. If you go to latenighthealth.com, you'll see Rick. You'll be able to read a little bit about him. It'll take you to his website. You'll be able to buy the book, but we have a couple of books that we can still give away. So give us a call, 805-480-1596. We tried earlier, and we had some technical difficulties today, and we had somebody in, I think, New York, that's going to participate. We'll have her on the show next week. She'll discuss with us her problems. Rick will talk to her and then give her a couple of sessions, and we'll bring her back in a few weeks. You've talked to Kristen, who we spoke to last week, I think.
Yes.
And how's she doing?
She's doing much better already. She just emailed me today that says she's at least 35% better, and has made some really important discoveries, and some surprising ones, too.
That's really great. I think I've mentioned that my wife has some back issues going right now, and she saw the book on my desk. I'm not allowed to take it anymore, though I did take it today. And she has been doing some exercises and finds tremendous relief when she does that. how to sit up, how to stand, even how to walk. We don't learn. Do we learn how to walk incorrectly?
Yeah, well, here's the deal, Mark, is that we do. I mean, I think when we're younger, we're walking just fine. But as we get older, things start to deteriorate, and because we're trying to save energy, or the type of shoe wear can affect our walk. For instance, shoes with thick heels on them starts to create a different pattern of walking that starts to promote back pain.
I cannot imagine wearing stilettos. I would think that Daryl here would look darling in them myself, but he's going to make me. But
well,
yeah.
I don't have to imagine it because I've seen those pictures on the internet.
Yes, exactly. Good one.
Damn those photographers.
And they got you. But why would women do that? I mean, I like looking at women's legs just like, other guys, but I say to my wife, don't wear high heels. I want you to wear, tennis shoes when we're going out. But we're going to a nice dinner, Mark. But we're going to walk a little bit. Are shoes that important?
Oh, they're very important. And I'm not only talking about high heel shoes. I'm also talking about tennis shoes.
Oh.
A lot of tennis shoes have very thick heels built up in them. And what happens is it allows us to extend our leg even further when we walk, which and it locks our knee out, which then changes our pelvic orientation and so forth. So what I'm talking about is, if you're wearing a pair of shoes that typically would allow you to walk differently than if you were walking bare feet, then that pair of shoes is likely changing how you would naturally walk.
If somebody is flat-footed or walks, let's see, I'm trying to think, pigeon-toed is in, and what's the other one? Walking with like a duck. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does that can that affect your back pain over your lifetime as well?
Oh, yes. So here's another surprise revelation, is that not all of us are meant to walk with our feet pointed forward. So much back pain that I help, especially in men, is that men's thighs are actually rotated outward. They're thigh bones. It's called femoral retroversion. And if you have that, your feet should not be pointed forward. They should be pointed out. And you wouldn't believe the number of guys I talk to who are relieved to find that out, because it takes so much effort for them to point their toes forward, because that's what society says that we should do. And once they're allowed to point their feet out, maybe 3 or 5 degrees, suddenly tension and pain start to melt away.
But can you walk too far out?
You can walk too far out. And so what we do is we just go through, I kind of show them how to figure out just how far out their feet should go. And it's not that difficult. Basically, if you're standing with your feet straight ahead and that feels, I ask them to feel that, and then I say, point your toes out 3 or 5 degrees, and they do that. And then we go back to the straight again, and they realize how much energy it's taking them to point their toes forward. So then I just say, just figure out an angle that feels more comfortable to you, that feels relaxed, and they figure it out for themselves. It's very easy, not very difficult to do.
And that's a very common situation.
Very common, yes.
Pigeon-toed is not as common, is it?
No, it's not as common, and that can also cause problems, too. So that happens if the femurs are rotated the opposite direction, which is called femoral anteversion. And so you can have the feet pointed in too far, too. So, walking and where the feet are pointed is very important to solving your back pain.
Don't you think that women should be up in arms and wear, I'm going to use the word sensible shoes? Not that, I was with somebody yesterday, a young guy, and he has a collection of shoes, and his tennis shoes are $200-300 a piece. And he's got, 6 or 7 pair.
Yeah.
I've got my old man, as my son says, from Costco, and I'm very comfortable in those.
Yes. And
they were $20.
Right.
Are there any difference in the pricing of the shoes as they affect the back?
Well, I would say in general no, and because each shoe should be what dictates the type of shoes you wear is your body. And so you have to understand your body a little bit, whether your feet are flat, whether you have thigh bones that are rotated in or out, things like that. So, those people who want to buy the $600 shoes and so forth, that's fine. Just buy a copy of my book along with it. And,
buy 10 copies.
Yes. Everything will be just hunky-dory.
Exactly. Do you have a $600 pair of shoes?
I do not.
Okay. Just checking. Do you have a pair of $600 shoes?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yes. No, I do not.
Rick Olderman has been our guest, the author of Fixing You Back Pain, and you can get a free copy of that by calling 805-480-1596. We'll ask you a couple of questions. Rick will talk to you as well. If you meet the requirements that Rick is going to give you when he talks to you one-on-one, we'll put you on the radio, we'll get you a copy of the book, and you'll get a couple of sessions with Rick, and the whole thing is worth like $250. It'll reduce your pain, and it's free. Give us a call, 805-480-1596, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. Rick will be back next week. Thank you, Rick. Coming up next, we're going to talk about tattoos and hiding them as Late Night Health moves on.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment. Hybrid light.
It's really bright, 160 lumens.
Hybrid light.
Never needs batteries.
Hybrid light.
It's a charging station that will power your cell phone.
Hybrid light.
It's ruggedized, waterproof, and it floats.
Hybrid light.
And here's a special deal just for our listeners.
Hybrid light is a solar-powered flashlight that also has a USB port on the back for that quick charge needed when AC power is just not available. Order yours today for only $39.95 at 1-800-297-8109. Mention promo code HEALTH for a free headlamp when ordering. That's 800-297-8109, promo code HEALTH. And one low price of $39.95 will get you both the Hybrid Light flashlight with its built-in charging station and a free headlamp, just for entering HEALTH in the promo code box. Call 1-800-297-8109. Again, 1-800-297-8109. And don't forget the promo code HEALTH. If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-789-7213 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-789-7213 to take your call now. Call 800-789-7213. That's 800-789-7213. Again, 800-789-7213.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
800-280-3454. 800-280-3454. 800-280-3454.
Late Night Health continues. This is really an unusual story, but apparently, when you're a patient, you don't want your doctors, nurses, or technicians to have tats, tattoos. So Howard Horwitz, in the year 2007, decided to create what is now known as tat jackets. And we have Howard on our phone line as well. Right now. Howard, welcome to Late Night Health. How'd you come up with this idea? It's not only for the healthcare industry, but also for the law enforcement and I guess firefighters as well.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
Indeed. This started as a product that was designed mostly with law enforcement and firefighters in mind. But over the years, it's evolved, and actually the healthcare and nursing component has become a very, very large component for our company.
You have 29 sleeves or products in several different colors. So can I closely match my skin color if I'm pale and like I am, or have darker skin or olive skin? Is that how that works?
Sure. Well, we have 4 different colors for the fabric sleeves, and there's thousands of different skin tones, so it would be difficult to match every one, but we have some fairly generic skin tones to match most folks, and if not, we have a plain black and plain white, so they'll match a scrubs uniform or any kind of clothing that you might have for your work.
Got it. Well, you're a police officer, so when you go out and you're doing your beat, okay, I'm bringing you back to the 50s when they still had beat cops.
Right.
It's the summertime, so you're allowed to wear a short sleeve shirt. Uniform rather than a long sleeve. Is the tat jacket comfortable for you?
It is. So the thought process behind it is that most tattoos are becoming more mainstream, but for most people, they still have a sort of a thuggish or a criminalistic sense about them. So people don't want their doctor or their nurse or their police officer or firefighter showing up covered in tattoos, whether or not they may be artistic or they may be questionable looking tattoos, but it doesn't matter. They still denote the same sense or feeling in people. And so most government agencies and many, many, many private companies and the hospitals and hospital chains require that tattoos be covered during work hours. So,
right.
If you have an outdoor job and you're in a hot environment, wearing a long sleeve dark wool uniform shirt in the 110 degrees of summer is very miserable. So these are designed to keep you cooler, allow you to comply with your work dress code policies, and be comfortable doing it.
I'm just curious about something. Do you have children?
I do have 2 sons.
2 sons. If they came home with a tattoo, how soon would you kill them?
Pretty quick. Tattoos are a very personal thing, and
yes.
A lot of young people, like I said, it's becoming very, very mainstream. A lot of young people are trending toward tattoos. They are a permanent choice, though, so you have to be pretty smart about doing it.
It's funny. I did a video a couple years ago on a tattoo removal system.
Yes.
And they said painless. and you would watch the doctor and technician literally operating on some poor woman's arm.
Yeah.
And she was trying to smile. That was not painless. Trust me, it could not possibly have been. It also strikes me as being unusual. 18, 19, 20-year-old kid gets a tattoo. Now that tattoo is 60 years old.
Sure.
It cannot look the same.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that dovetails into another line of products that we have, which are tattoo care and maintenance products. And they help keep the tattoos looking fresh and new. And they are so expensive nowadays. It's not like it used to be. People are spending $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on a single arm sleeve tattoo. And so they do want to keep them looking nice and looking sharp. Some of them are quite artistic, and so we do have product lines that maintain the tattoos as well.
I've seen some beautiful tattoos, and I remember, maybe you read it too, Ray Bradbury's The Illustrated Man. I would want a tattoo that would move and talk to me. I think that would be great. And you personally do not have a tattoo?
I don't. No, this was an officer that I worked with. The idea came for an officer that I worked with, a friend of mine, and like I said, we worked the summer months together in June of 2007, and it was in the 112 range, and we were outdoors and sweating like crazy, and he only had the long sleeve uniform shirts. And I just flashed back to my college days when I was on the cycling team. We wore arm warmer sleeves to keep our arms warm in the morning, and then we could peel them off and put them in our pocket when. So I thought sleeves that were designed to keep your arms cool instead of warm would work, and
it did. Hey, listen, Howard, we appreciate your time today. TatJack.com. TatJacket.com is the place to go. TatJacket.com. You can go to LateNightHealth.com. We've got Howard's picture up there. Howard, you didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
You did not. And there's a short bio as well as a link to his website as well. And you can go and take a look at those the cover-ups from Tat Jacket. Thanks a lot, Howard.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
coming
it,
up next, Paul Corona joins us along with Chuck Smith. And as we talk about healing the mind and body. Don't go away. More coming up here on Late Night Health. Join us at LateNightHealth.com.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt that is straining your monthly budget? Have you been turned down for a personal loan, credit card, or mortgage? We'll quickly connect you with expert financial resources that provide free information that helps save you time and money and get you back on track. Don't spend hours a day searching for help. With just one phone call, we'll quickly connect you with your debt solution. We have programs to settle your debt, lower your bills, and cut your monthly payments. Call 800-989-8123 to get a free debt analysis to help you reduce your debt and get you back on track. The call is free, secure, and confidential. Call 800-989-8123. 800-989-8123. 800-989-8123. That's 800-989-8123.
Thanks for calling Consolidated Credit Counseling Services. Can I help you?
I sure hope so. I'm in debt.
Is it credit card bills?
Yes, I have 2 credit cards that I'm making minimum payments on and another that I'm behind on. I owe about $5,000.
What interest rates are you paying?
Between 18 and 22%.
At that rate, it'll take over 20 years to pay off.
Wow, 20 years?
What Consolidated Credit can do is work with your creditors to lower your payments and reduce or even eliminate your interest charges. You should be able to pay everything off in 3 or 4 years.
What do I have to do?
Just give me some details and get ready to celebrate your freedom from debt.
We're Consolidated Credit. We're here to give you freedom from debt. Call now for your free consultation.
If I had known it was this easy, I would have called years ago.
Call 1-800-229-1964. 1-800-229-1964. That's 1-800-229-1964.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunlight Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031.
Is your computer getting slower? Can't get your smartphone to work with your PC? Or is the internet taking so long to load that it seems like the worldwide wait? I'm Luke Ford, CEO of My Computer Works. Every day we help people just like you fix their computer problems. We offer an affordable way to help you with your computer. It's fast, safe, and reliable. It's My Computer Works.
Technology keeps advancing, and it's very hard to keep up. So My Computer Works is definitely a service that I can't do without.
Just call 1-800-616-6030. That's 1-800-616-6030.
Late Night Health continues with Paul D. Corona, the author of Healing the Mind and Body 1, 2, and 3. It's a trilogy. We've been talking about it for the past couple of months. And today we're going to be speaking not only with Dr. Paul, but also with Chuck Smith. He's a pastor, and he's the editor of Healing the Mind and Body. His name again, Chuck Smith. Chuck and Paul, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Good to be here.
Hey, listen, I wanted to talk about the spiritual aspect of being well. Doctors or scientists, many of them are spiritual, or even religious. So I thought that it would be a good conversation to talk about it. And the first question goes to Paul. When somebody is ill, does having faith, does having hope help in your mind as a doctor?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. If patients don't have a spiritual connection, it leads to a lot more conflict, a lot more stress. I think more prone to depression. I think when you have a spiritual connection, it's and Chuck will obviously go more into this. It's hugely important. It is something I'd absolutely talk to my patients about.
And Chuck, you've been a minister for how long?
About 40 years.
Oh, my goodness. You're an old guy.
Yes, I am.
You've been a minister for 40 years. Obviously, faith is important to you, but as you're tending to the sick, if you go to a hospital because a parishioner is in the hospital, is having regular prayers at that time helpful not only to the patient but to their family as well?
The answer to that question, Mark, in all honesty, is yes and no, and it all depends. If the patient is, let's say, they have a healthy spirituality and also a healthy mental state, then yeah, prayer is huge. Faith is huge because these things bring hope, and hope in itself helps the body to mend. But sometimes people are stuck in religious perceptions or persuasions that do more harm than good, because they carry an excess of guilt, an excess of worry about their relationship with God. Have I done enough? Does God love me? Have I been so bad He doesn't love me?
It would seem to me that, if a patient has some kind of really horrific cancer, pancreatic cancer, the thing going through that patient's mind might be, did I let God down? Why is He doing this to me?
Exactly. In fact, everyone just about who has a terminal illness will ask, did I do something wrong? Is this my fault? Could I have done something differently? So it's easy, if you have a religious background, to generate guilt over questions like that.
I guess I've talked to other ministers, rabbis, other spiritual leaders, even lay religious leaders, and they always say the following to me: God works in mysterious ways. And I always say, baloney. I want to know an answer, and I want it now. What mysterious ways?
Yeah, really. First of all, I think that patients who want honesty need as much honesty as possible. And, it's one thing to say God works in mysterious ways. It's another thing just to say, I don't know. I don't know why you're ill right now. I don't know why God would allow this to happen. I don't know why, you're suffering. And not try to necessarily justify it, say, well, there's got to be a reason. We live in a universe of random events, and they're not always just. The universe itself, does not contain justice within its laws. The laws of the universe are different from that. So I think sometimes...
Wait a second. If there's no justice, why am I good to my fellow man? Why do I need to be good?
Well, see, we're moving away from, say, the laws of physics to issues that are more social and moral and spiritual and ethical. And that's where justice comes in. Justice is what society maintains. Justice is what an individual maintains. Justice, when we talk about society, that's the word we use. When we talk about the individual, we use the word righteous. And righteous is doing what's right by my fellow neighbor, by God, by myself.
Yeah, but the patient says, I've always been righteous. Moses was righteous. Jesus was righteous. I'm covering Mohammed was righteous. If I've left anybody out, I didn't mean to. Everybody was righteous. And now the patient says, I've lived my life correctly. Why? Why am I dying? I'm a good guy. Yeah. And the bank robber or the murderer is living, in South Beach on millions of dollars of bucks.
Right. Well, in the Christian context specifically, that's actually a good point when you say Jesus was righteous, and the response there is yes, and look where it got him. From the cross, he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?"
Right.
And I think that it's more helpful for the patient, rather, though the mind searches for answers, rather than try to give those kind of answers, to say, look, here's someone who was righteous and who knows this sense of abandonment that you're feeling, like you've been abandoned to your suffering, and where's God now? And the question why is a very unfruitful question in the face of suffering. And sometimes the suffering is just too big to try to invent an answer, come up with an answer. I've worked with parents who have lost a child.
Which is one of the things that would be horrific to me.
It's the worst. We're not supposed to survive our children.
No.
And I'm thinking of this one boy in particular. He's about 9 or 10 years old, and it was a stupid accident. He was always told, wear your helmet when you jump on your scooter, and he didn't this time because they'd just gotten home from dinner, being out to dinner. He saw a friend down the street. He's just going down the street and crashed and was had a fatal head injury. And
you have to wonder.
It was impossible to say, why did this happen? Why did God allow this? That's way beyond us, way beyond my pay grade to try to answer questions like that.
We're speaking with the editor of Healing the Mind and Body. Author Paul Corona is on the line with us as well. I was thinking of a friend of mine. We've actually had him on the air. At his daughter, at 5 months old, was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia, and he worked very hard to find the right medical treatment, but he didn't forget prayer. And I helped organize a couple of prayer groups while she was in treatment, and that was, we just figured out over 16 years ago. She's going to be 17 years old in December. And my point is that they held strong to faith. They always had hope. Last week, we interviewed a gentleman who was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. His name is Greg O'Brien. He wrote a book called On Pluto. Fabulous book. And I asked him, I said, how do you get up every morning? And he answered it with 3 words. I get up with faith, hope, and humor.
That's great.
Which is a great way of doing it. I don't think I would be as gracious as Greg. In fact, I know
why
I would.
You've been spared that type of suffering, and I feel the same way too. And I've asked myself, could I be as gracious? And I think it's really important for that very reason, not just to have faith in belief, like in a creed or faith in a doctrine. I think that it's not believing ideas or concepts or theological truths. It's more of a living trust in God, and saying, well, I know that whatever I go through, God will never leave me.
I have heard stories about doctors who have pronounced bodies dead, and not to say that they've risen, but they made a mistake, and Joe, was dead, is alive.
Yeah.
Right? Even with all the technology we have today. And I think that the universe, God, Jesus, whatever anybody wants to call it, helps us live better lives by helping us invent these new technologies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and there are people who turn their back on all kinds of health care, both alternative and allopathic, which saying that whatever happens is God's will.
Yeah, and I think that's unfortunate. That's one of the reasons why I enjoyed working with Paul on his books, is because when we talk about a mood disorder, we're not talking about just general anxiety. Everyone experiences anxiety. Everyone experiences fear. Everyone experiences periods of grief that may border on depression. But anxiety is not just I have a bad day once in a while. Anxiety, an anxiety disorder, is such that it disrupts a person's life. It interferes with getting on with their life. It cripples them in some way. If I can't step into a hospital, if I can't walk into an elevator and go up several floors, if I can't drive my car on the freeway, all because of fears, then my life is being impinged. And if I can't quiet my mind when I want to pray or meditate or focus on the universe or just this moment's bare experience of reality, then it can be extremely helpful to find that missing piece in my own neurochemistry that enables me at least to settle down enough to be able to step into life, to be in life as a living, aware person.
Our guest is Chuck Smith. We're going to take a short time out and come back. Dr. Paul, you're still there listening?
I'm still here.
Okay, good deal. Paul and Chuck Smith, pastor in the Orange County area, and I will be back in just a couple of moments. Like us at Facebook.com, Facebook.com/Late Night Health. The guys and I will return, and when we come back, we're going to talk about God doesn't give us any more than we can handle. I'm not so sure about that. Let's get Pastor Chuck's point of view on that statement as well. All right, don't go away. More coming up.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308. Hybrid light.
It's really bright. 160 lumens.
Hybrid light.
Never needs batteries.
Hybrid light.
It's a charging station that will power your cell phone.
Hybrid light.
It's ruggedized, waterproof, and it floats.
Hybrid light.
And here's a special deal just for our listeners.
Hybrid light is a solar-powered flashlight that also has a USB port on the back for that quick charge needed when AC power is just not available. Order yours today for only $39.95 at 1-800-297-8109. Mention promo code HEALTH for a free headlamp when ordering. That's 800-297-8109, promo code HEALTH. And one low price of $39.95 will get you both the Hybrid Light flashlight with its built-in charging station and a free headlamp, just for entering HEALTH in the promo code box. Call 1-800-297-8109. Again, 1-800-297-8109. And don't forget the promo code HEALTH.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-789-7213 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-789-7213 to take your call now. Call 800-789-7213. That's 800-789-7213. Again, 800-789-7213.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
800-280-3454. 800-280-3454. 800-280-3454.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt that is straining your monthly budget? Have you been turned down for a personal loan, credit card, or mortgage? We'll quickly connect you with expert financial resources that provide free information that helps save you time and money and get you back on track. Don't spend hours a day searching for help. With just one phone call, we'll quickly connect you with your debt solution. We have programs to settle your debt, lower your bills, and cut your monthly payments. Call 800-989-8123 to get a free debt analysis to help you reduce your debt and get you back on track. The call is free, secure, and confidential. Call 800-989-8123. 800-989-8123. 800-989-8123. That's 800-989-8123.
Late Night Health continues with Dr. Paul Corona, the author of Healing the Mind and Body. Along with Dr. Paul is Chuck Smith. He edited the book, as well as is a minister, a pastor in the Orange County, California area. I left using, I guess, a cliche. God doesn't give us any more than we can handle. If I am so depressed that I can't get out of bed, how can I even think about God, gentlemen?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, personal story here is that I struggled with depression for almost 40 years. So I know that feeling. And I have been very sympathetic with other people who have also known depression and have ended their lives in an effort to stop the pain and stop the repetitive thinking that causes the soul and the mind to spiral downward and see no hope. And I think that's a very good question. And there's no easy answer. I don't think that offering people those kinds of cliches is of any help at all. We just don't know what to say to each other anymore. We don't know what to say to a grieving friend who's lost a spouse. We say they're in a better place, or I'm so sorry for your loss. And none of that, the sentiment behind it, I love you, I care about you, I know you're wounded.
I'll never see you again.
Sentiment, but the words don't really capture that. And I've heard lots of people, tell about how when they were in the hospital or when they were, by a gravesite, someone, said something to them, gave them one of those cliches, and how it just angered and irritated them.
Well, and also, the other thing is, you say to a surviving spouse, hey, we'll get together, let's, we'll still have dinner, that kind of thing. You never see them again.
Well, that's right. And partly because we don't make room for grief in our culture. According to the people who have studied grief, they say that loss of a spouse is like the hardest to get over, and it takes a couple of years. Well, we give them a couple months. We say, look, we had the funeral a couple months ago.
Yeah, start
you need
dating
to get out
again.
and go bowling with us again.
Start dating again, or something like that. Another cliche is, there are no atheists in a foxhole, and the reason I think of that one is, I would be, if my child, God forbid, were in hooked up to tubes and was on life support and was dying of cancer, there's no room in my mind, at least right now, rationally speaking, for a universal God. I wouldn't be able to accept that.
Well, Mark,
is that common?
Mark, I think that you would hang on to God through the ordeal. Desperately, because in desperation we do hang on. But I think that if you lost that child, that's when that period of being in the foxhole is when you lose your faith. And I would say that atheists sometimes are born in the foxhole and in the trenches because the suffering goes beyond the ability to make sense of it.
That makes sense. In Healing the Mind and Body, as you were reading it, as you were editing it, what was your one big takeaway, Chuck?
My biggest takeaway is that these mood-normalizing medications, when you find the sweet spot with them, that what they do for a person is not that they're now happy, they used to be depressed, they're now at perfect peace and calm, they used to be full of anxieties, but rather they're now in control of their lives. They can now make choices. When you wake up in the morning with depression, or when you step out of your house and they're bombarded by anxieties, you cannot make choices for yourself. In fact, your brain freezes up. You don't do your best thinking. The prefrontal cortex is not able to function as well, because it's partially shut down because the limbic system's going off like mad. And if through medication you can just be brought to a baseline,
that would help, and you could make choices and get on with your life. We're out of time for this segment, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Nice meeting you, Pastor Chuck. I look forward to talking to you again. And we will have Dr. Paul on next week. Same time, same station, Dr. Paul?
Thanks, Mark. We'll be there.
Okay, good deal. All right, I'm Mark Alyn. Coming up more, Dr. Darrell and Dr. Mark get to chit-chat for a little bit as Late Night Health continues. Don't go away. More coming up.
Hybrid light.
It's really bright. 160 lumens.
Hybrid light.
Never needs batteries.
Hybrid light.
It's a charging station that will power your cell phone.
Hybrid light.
It's ruggedized, waterproof, and it floats.
Hybrid light.
And here's a special deal just for our listeners.
Hybrid light is a solar-powered flashlight that also has a USB port on the back for that quick charge needed when AC power is just not available. Order yours today for only $39.95 at 1-800-297-8109. Mention promo code HEALTH for a free headlamp when ordering. That's 800-297-8109, promo code HEALTH. And one low price of $39.95 will get you both the hybrid light flashlight with its built-in charging station and a free headlamp, just for entering HEALTH in the promo code box. Call 1-800-297-8109. Again, 1-800-297-8109. And don't forget the promo code HEALTH.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-789-7213 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-789-7213 to take your call now. Call 800-789-7213. That's 800-789-7213. Again, 800-789-7213.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
800-280-3454. 800-280-3454. 800-280-3454.
Thanks for calling Consolidated Credit Counseling Services. Can I help you?
I sure hope so. I'm in debt.
Is it credit card bills?
Yes, I have 2 credit cards that I'm making minimum payments on and another that I'm behind on. I owe about $5,000.
What interest rates are you paying?
Between 18 and 22%.
At that rate, it'll take over 20 years to pay off.
Wow, 20 years?
What Consolidated Credit can do is work with your creditors to lower your payments and reduce or even eliminate your interest charges. You should be able to pay everything off in 3 or 4 years.
What do I have to do?
Just give me some details and get ready to celebrate your freedom from debt.
We're Consolidated Credit. We're here to give you freedom from debt. Call now for your free consultation.
If I had known it was this easy, I would have called years ago.
Call 1-800-229-1964. 1-800-229-1964. That's 1-800-229-1964.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunlight Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by New York Department of Financial Service and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031.